Nigel Winterburn, Arsenal legend. It says so because you have mugs all over this stadium. Amongst some other greats, you, Bastin, Thierry Henry, Mercer, Hapgood, they're all up there, as is Nigel Winterburn. We're here at the Emirates Stadium. Nigel, why are we here though?
Well, we're here to promote Arsenal in the community, and particularly today, to get the kids to come out and play table tennis. I had to go outside.
Yeah, we saw.
In the windy conditions.
Here we go, excuses.
Yes, plenty of excuses. Get them in early, and then no one can say you're rubbish. But it's all about trying to get kids to stay healthy. But with table tennis, it's not only that, is it? Staying healthy. It's good mental strength. Also hand and eye coordination. Gives kids a lot, and you don't need any money really to play it. I used to play as a kid on my dining room table. My mum used to go absolutely mad, but it didn't stop me playing.
That was in the Midlands, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, yeah.
We all associate you with the Gunners, of course, but the reality is you started at the Blues, didn't you, at Birmingham?
Yeah, I did. I did a couple of years there. First year and a half under Jim Smith, and then he got the sack. And Ron Saunders came in, and then I was surplus to requirements.
And then he went down to Wimbledon and Plough Lane, which is quite interesting because I remember Plough Lane, and it had its, shall we say, it had its certain merits. But here we are at the Emirates, and I think it's fair to say, Plough Lane
beats it by a mile.
Was no Emirates, was it? Were you part of the Crazy Gang, the original Crazy Gang?
I was there with Dennis Wise, John Fashanu, Vinnie Jones, Alan Cork. Yeah, so I was there. But
whatever happened to Vinnie Jones?
Well, he's in America filming, isn't he? As the hard man. I was the quiet man, and he was the hard man.
So happy days at Wimbledon.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely amazing. I mean, people ask me about Wimbledon and say, you know, what can you really tell us? Well, it was like a pub team because we used to have to take our own kit home and wash it. We used to stop off on away games on the way back on the coach and have a pint.
Even in the first division?
Yes, on many occasions. Yeah, I mean, because we got paid very, very little money, but the way that we came up through the leagues was absolutely amazing. What we had was great belief in ourselves, and a lot of teams were scared to play against us.
And then the call comes, Arsenal. Not bad, how about that?
Well, pretty good. Apparently my mum just said to me, I'm not Arsenal.
Oh no.
That reputation that they had all those years ago. But no, I mean, I was absolutely delighted to sign for them, and the traditions of Highbury and its marble halls, and also to learn from what I call one of the greats of modern times in Kenny Sampson as well at left back. So yeah, it was a privilege to play for them and sign for them at that time.
I mean, if you look, you just mentioned Kenny Sansom, so you eventually took over from Kenny Sansom, and of course you played in the. I mean, it's some time ago now. With respect, Nigel, still remembered as the Arsenal back four, and you, yourself, and Dixon and Adams, and well, then take your pick, wasn't it? Keown or Bald, some back four that.
Yeah, I think Martin would say it's him.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it was, but
the Arsenal back one.
Yeah, but I think people talk about the Arsenal back four more now that we're all sort of retired. But what you have to realise as well with that back four is I think people talk about it because it stayed together for such a long time and it won a lot of trophies together. I mean, with the help of a lot of other players, I should say, along the way as well. Yeah. But I think it's because we all stayed together as a unit for such an amazing amount of time that it's talked about so fondly, particularly with the Arsenal supporters.
You had a decent keeper as well, I seem to remember.
Yes, we did. Dave Seaman, England's #1 as well. But Dave was a huge character, such stature in goal. I mean, he was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, when people ask me about goalkeepers, I always say that Dave Seaman and Peter Schmeichel, in my opinion, in my time, were by far the best two goalkeepers in the Premier League by a long way.
If somebody had said to you when you were 18, 19 years old and starting out, this is how it's going to pan out for you, you would have taken that, wouldn't you?
I'd have started laughing at them. Yeah, I mean, I think it's every kid's dream, isn't it, to play professional football. But what happened to me and the way it happened with being released at Birmingham, and then my first year, well, the run with Wimbledon, first year here, missing a penalty at Wembley.
Did you?
Yes, I did against Luton.
in the
League Cup final.
in the League Cup final.
Yeah,
You missed the pen.
I did indeed, yeah. 2-1 up, lost 3-2. As many a Luton fan will remember that. But then coming back in '89 and winning the league at Anfield. So the history of I was involved with this club at that period of time. If people said to me, you know, that's what's going to happen to you in your career, I'd have just looked at them and said, you need to go to a loony home, mate.
Now, here's a funny thing. Obviously, you were left back and you were there primarily to defend. And you weren't up there in the goal-scoring charts like Thierry
I was.
and Ian Wright. But here's my point. For some reason, I do remember a number of rockets from your left foot, from the left-hand side of the goal, that found the top right-hand corner. Am I imagining this?
You're not imagining it, and I think 1 goal in every 50 is not bad for a fullback.
That was the sort of the strike rate.
Without taking penalties. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just seem to be able to get maybe 1 or 2 a season, 2 if I was lucky. But they all seem to be from distance out. Well, I didn't get too close to the goal, so maybe you just have to try your luck every now and again.
Now, your partner in crime, Lee Dixon, is a Man City supporter, isn't he? Even though he went on to play for Stoke and Arsenal, Man City's his team. Is Birmingham your team?
No, it's not, no. Especially after releasing me, it's certainly not. I wouldn't even admit it if it was. No, for some reason, bizarrely, as a boy, I used to support Leeds. I suppose because they were successful at the time. Maybe I liked some of the players that played. Eddie Gray played. Peter Lorrimers, Alan Clark's.
Yeah. For your position, we're looking at Cooper, Madeley, those sort of people. Really?
Yeah, plenty of. But what I used to like about Leeds was that they could play football when they wanted to, but they could tough it out with the best as well. And I suppose really I first started supporting them probably because they were successful, but I absolutely had everything about Leeds United. I still follow their results now, but I think I always say, once you've played professionally, it's not the same as supporting a team. So
in the recent cup tie between Arsenal and Leeds, who do you want to win?
Well, you know who I want to win. Leeds. No, of course I didn't. Arsenal, obviously. Yeah, because this is like my sort of what I class as my home now. I've spent 13 years here.
Yeah.
It would be very, very hard to wipe all that away. And I still look for the results of Wimbledon, well, which is no longer.
Which one?
Really.
AFC now?
Well, AFC more than MK.
Yeah, they're doing well
because the team I played for doesn't really know.
No, so you're an AFC man, not an MK Dons man.
Well, I'm not really either, but when I look for the results, I always look for their results, because I suppose officially that is for me that's the team that should be Wimbledon Football Club.
Well, listen, but one final thing, because we saw you playing table tennis earlier. Okay, did you play table tennis as an Arsenal player, and what were you like, and were there, compared to your teammates?
Yes, occasionally, but I more played table tennis at home. I've got a table tennis table at home upstairs against my elder boys now. So I was more competitive against them rather than my Arsenal teammates.
Oh, okay. Who was the best table tennis player in the Arsenal team when you were there?
I think Merce used to put himself, so they tell me he used to put himself, well, I can't ever think I played against him, but I think it's more now in the modern times that with the new training grounds, that there's a lot more facilities for the players. They're playing darts and table tennis. That the players are starting to get not only competitive at football, but other sports as well. Well,
judging you by your football, I would have suggested your defence would have been fantastic, but your attacking shots might have gone a bit awry.
Well, you saw that earlier, didn't you?
Thanks a lot, Nigel.
Thanks.